Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest bread video. And in this one I'll show you how to turn plain or all-purpose flour into strong white bread flour by adding this ingredient called vital wheat gluten and then making this beautiful loaf of bread with it. I'll explain a bit more about it and where you can buy it a little later in the video. But it really is a fantastic solution to those who can't get hold of bread flour, and it also cuts down the price of bread flour by at least half. You can view the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. I'll leave a link in the description under the video, or you can click on the eye icon top right of the screen to take you directly to the recipe page. And I'll be doing the Patreon and PayPal shout out a little later in the video. And with that out of the way, let's get on with today's recipe. Right, I'll get cracking on the recipe by testing that the yeast is alive and well. So I'll start by adding the 7 grams, that's 2 teaspoons of instant or active dried yeast to this jug of lukewarm water, which has a teaspoon of sugar dissolved in it. And I'll give that a good stir and set it aside for now. Onto the flour, and as I said at the start, I'm going to turn this very cheap plain or all-purpose flour into strong white bread flour. Now for this I'm using the cheapest plain flour I could find, and this 1.5 kilogram bag only costs 60 pence, which is about 85 cents US. And by adding a little vital wheat gluten to this bag of flour, I can make 4 large loaves out of this one bag of cheap plain flour. And I'll explain a little later how the vital wheat gluten works. First I'll mix in the salt and make sure it's all mixed in. And now it's time to add the ingredient that converts this ordinary plain flour into flour that is strong enough to make bread with. And it's called vital wheat gluten. And all it does is add extra protein to the plain or all-purpose flour. And as you can see, it contains a huge protein percentage of 82%. I use the formula 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of vital wheat gluten to every 100 grams of flour. It's also very cheap. This 1 kilogram bag only cost me £6.50, which is about $8.50 US, and I bought this on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description for those in the UK, but you should be able to buy this anywhere, wherever you live. It's also okay to use for vegetarians and vegans. Now thoroughly mix that in. I like to use a whisk for this, or you could sift the flour a couple of times to make sure it's properly mixed in. Now add the wet ingredients, and as you can see, the yeast is active and ready to go. Finally, add the oil. Now I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use olive oil or even softened butter if you wish. Right, using my trusty wooden spoon handle, I'll mix it all together. And these wooden spoons are also available in the website shop, and it all goes to help support the channel. Once it's almost mixed with the spoon, get your hands in until it all comes together. You can use a stand mixer to do this part if you wish. Make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl too. Now I'm using the no knead method for this loaf. But if you wish, from this point you can hand or machine knead the dough for 10 minutes. But you need to miss out the first 30-minute rise that I do in the bowl in this procedure, and move straight on to the last 45-minute rise in the bowl. Now cover it, and as always I use my shower cap for this. And these extra strong shower caps are available from the website shop if you want one. There'll be a link in the description box, or just click on the eye icon top right of your screen. Now place the bowl in a nice warm draft free spot. I like to use my oven with just the light bulb on. And set your timer for 30 minutes. Okay, that's the first 30 minutes up. 30 minutes up. 30 minutes. 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 And as you can see, it's about doubled in size, so I'll turn it out onto a floured surface. Now while the bowl's empty, you can give it a thin coat of oil. This will allow the dough to rise smoothly up the sides of the bowl and also release from the bowl easier once it's time to turn it out. Now knock the dough back. That simply means get all of the built up gas out of it. Okay, I'll have a little clean up using my dough scraper. Form it into a ball and place it back into the oiled bowl and cover it once more. And now get it back into its warm, draft-free spot and allow it to rise for 45 minutes this time. Now these times may vary depending on the temperature of your kitchen. Now while that's proofing, you can prepare a 2 pound, that's a 900 gram loaf tin. I'm greasing mine with a little lard, but you can use butter or shortening. The dimensions of the tin I'm using are on screen. Okay, that's the second rise out of the way. And as you can see, it's risen quite a bit more this time. Now turn it out onto the worktop, no need for flour this time. Now knock the dough back again and form it into a sausage shape as shown. Place the dough into the prepared loaf tin and gently press it down into the corners. At this point you can sprinkle on a little flour and cover it with a lightweight dry cloth and place it back into its warm spot again, in my case the oven with just the bulb on. Or what I'm going to do is place it into my makeshift proofing box in the sink of warm water. You can learn more about this box in my sandwich bread video. See the link in the description box below. Now I'll put the lid on and place a weight on top to stop it floating around and set the timer for 45 minutes. And the temperature of the water in the sink is around 45 degrees Celsius, that's 113 Fahrenheit. When there's only about 10 minutes left on the rise, preheat your oven to 180 Celsius, that's 355 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 4. Okay, time's up, and that's the third proofing done. Don't let the dough rise more than 4 centimeters, that's 1.5 inches above the top of the tin, as it will start to fall over the edge of the tin as it rises even more in the oven, and it'll end up looking like a giant mushroom. Now carefully lift out the tin and place it on the bench. Sprinkle a little flour over the top of the dough. This is an optional step, but it does give the finished loaf a more professional appearance. Now get it into the preheated oven and set your timer for 30 minutes. Before I go any further, I hope you don't mind if I give my very first recipe book a bit of a plug. And for the next couple of days I'll be throwing in a free baker scraper to anyone who orders the recipe book. The offer closes Wednesday the 12th of August 2020 and that's UK time. So get your order in now if you want a free baker scraper worth £3 and that's anywhere in the world. There's no need to order the scraper separately, it will be added automatically when you order a book. The book has lots of our favourite recipes from our work kitchens in it and is available in the channel's website shop along with loads of other equipment I use in the videos. It's just another way you can support the channel. I'll leave a link in the description box below the video or just click on the eye icon top right of your screen if you want to order a copy today. Once the time's up, carefully take it out of the oven and place the tin on a wire rack. Now remove the loaf from the tin. Now to give it more colour and a crispier crust, I'm going to put it back into the oven commando style. Once in the oven, crank up the heat to 210 degrees Celsius, that's 410 Fahrenheit or gas mark 7, and set your timer for 6 minutes. Once that time's passed, remove it from the oven and it's done. One beautiful loaf of bread made from the cheapest plain or all-purpose flour I could find. Marvellous. Right, I'll let it cool off for 20 minutes and when I come back I'll cut a slice off. Okay, it's cooled enough now and it's time to have a look on the inside and of course have a little taste. And just listen to how crispy that is. The inside has a beautiful soft crumb and it smells absolutely delicious. Okay, I'll try a piece with my homemade butter on. And oh yes, absolutely delicious. Right, and the purpose of this video is to show that you can make a great loaf of bread using this vital wheat gluten and plain or all-purpose flour. And I really hope you try this soon. And as promised at the beginning, here is the latest list of my Patreon and PayPal donators. And they are Cyrus Tubinet, Deborah Raduns, Alan Cook, Dana, Taylor Hartman, Raju Doshi, Gary Worrell, All My Musings, Derek Sidaway, Sandra Oss, Susan Leonhardt, Kumi Hong, Ellen Richardson and Elaine Wilson. And thanks again guys, I really do appreciate all your support. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in the kitchen and bye for now.